For God to fill you, you have to prepare your atmosphere. And when I got that, I said, wow, because Bethesda is just the right atmosphere for God to do something miraculous, in your life. He wants an atmosphere of worship. He wants to be in total agreement with each other. We have to be in agreement with Him and His Word. We want to make sure that God has His proper place in our life. God can't be the student and you the teacher, but He has to be in full authority. He doesn't want a noisy environment, noisy with praise for Him, but not just noisy with hustle and bustle and confusion and chaos and all that stuff. But He wants a peaceful place where the glory of the Lord abides. And that's why this was just so perfect today. There shouldn't be any distractions or hindrances to the move of God. So many times we miss what God has for us because our atmosphere is not prepared. This is the perfect atmosphere for the move of God. I can't even emphasize that enough. So you want to prepare your atmosphere. And then the third thing, in order for to receive God's filling, you have to be prepared to receive. Your faith must be unwavering, unshakable, consistent. No room for doubt, because faith and doubt can't lodge in the same closet. You must expect the unexpectable. You might say expect the great. And just be ready to receive what it is that you're asking God to fill you with. Look at the man of Bethesda. And that's just a crazy thing. But that's how we are sometimes. God is telling you what He wants to do, for us. And we're asking Him, when? What day? Is it big? Is it little? Is it great? But we've got to leave the excuses and the questions behind and just open up our hearts and get prepared to receive whatever you need today. Earlier I said it's personal, and it is. So you can't be a spectator today. You can't be a spectator. But all of us are participants in receiving what it is that we need from God. So in a minute, we're going to pray, and you can't look around the room to see what's going on, here or there. I thought about Inspector Gadget and how he has the magnifying glass and all that stuff. But you got to make it personal and make a vow to yourself that you're going to get whatever you came to receive today. Recognize the needs in your life, the empty, vacant lots, and begin to think of what God can do with them in your life. Understand that the love that God has for you, His love never runs out, and He has so much of it that every single need can be met here today. So maybe you need God to fill you with stability, I don't know, with acceptance, with love for another, respect for those who have authority over you, endurance to put up, release from something, release from damaging thoughts, freedom in Him. I don't know what your need is, but God knows, and you know exactly what you need the Lord to do. So it's personal today. And you've got to seek God with your whole heart. You have to prepare your heart. The atmosphere is already set. We don't have to prepare the atmosphere, but you've got to be prepared to receive what God has for you. When we were at the retreat, and sometimes my mom won't let me remember things, but I believe it was 2 years ago, our first retreat. And I just wanted to have some time with me and God. So in the morning glory, I waited until, the morning glory was over, and I could hear Pastor saying, okay, we're going to move from here and go over to breakfast so we get there in a timely manner and you won't miss breakfast. I said, wow, everybody is leaving. I can stay here and just, receive what I need, because sometimes when you're working and, we're working to serve you all at the retreat, you don't get that time that you need to spend for yourself. So when everybody left for breakfast, I was like, God, it's really on now, because it's just me and you. And I began to pray, and I began to cry and just weep and tell God all the stuff that was on my heart. And I was just on the edge of my seat. I was getting ready to go on the floor, and somebody tapped me on my shoulder. Now, I didn't know anybody else was in the room with me, but it's funny because she had a word. It was a really direct word from the Lord. And when she told me what she told me, it really was on then, because that's all that I needed. So because the atmosphere was set, I was ready, my heart was ready, I was able to get what God had for me.